The sprues are so big they just push your material. So I sprue totally different to do my pallets, but I always tell you get the bulk on labial right first. Once y'all get that down, then I'll teach you how to do the pallet. The pallet is a little tricky.
To stain the pallet?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little out there.
That's a little fancy.
It's actually a little in there.
So, but I'll show you. I'll do half using the K-On that comes with it, and I'll do half of that. But it's really the same stuff. It's not that much difference. I always start off, I got 3 colors. F, which I call filler. So I name everything. And you'll know why it's called a filler in a minute. H is white. White is too intense. It's like headlights. So I don't like it. I want it to look like it is kind of there, but you don't know it's there unless you look for it. So I don't want it jumping out at me. So I use H. And it's all it is a light pink. And then I use red. They have 2 reds. I got an A and a number 4. Number 4 is just too red for anybody. So A is fine, and I call it red. It's because it is red. And all I do first, you know how a pearl gets its color? It gets its color from within. I don't want colors just being laid there. So I do F first. First thing I do is to clean the teeth off. I always break the surface of every tooth, and Rick will probably tell you that when he gets to his end. But I clean every tooth, and you'll be able to hear the teeth. Here, if they squeak, they're clean. They don't squeak, then they're not clean. But I make sure they're very good and clean. And I always break every surface. Now these surfaces have not been broken. I threw these in a mold and that I created and just done it because, you know, I only have a few minutes to do this junk. So can you imagine getting, we usually have a class of 12. So we got to do 12 of everything. So we're a little, not so perfect that we used to be. So here, I mean, all of them squeak. So once they squeak, I'm fine. So now what I'll do, I put the filler down first. That gives me, it's kind of like it snowed outside, but you can still see the ground. If I go too thick with this, you'll never see your colors. But I'm laying this down first and then putting my colors on top of it. So it'll look like it's coming from within, just like the pearl. And it's kind of hard to, I know you got the camera, so I'm going to try. But what I'm going to do, they don't squeeze well, but you can tap them. And all I'm going to do is tap. And I try to stay on a quadrant. And then I'll do the monomer. And you can see there's still some areas. I'm going to have to turn it this way. I'll let you look at it, but maybe you need to be on this side. I don't know. But,
That's good.
So then I'm going to do it again, just so I can still see the blue. So I can still see the blue, but it's pretty well covered. And now I'll go ahead and do the anterior part. But just a little more. Just don't get too heavy, or you'll get in trouble. That's it. See everybody how, I mean, it's just kind of there. And it's going interproximal, it's going everywhere. Now I'll do the last quadrant. Tell you what, somebody shut that door and we won't get their feedback. Thanks. That's it. And you can see, I mean, look at this area here. There's my buccal frenum, labial frenum, buccal frenum. Okay? So I've got all those. So now I'm going to do the A. So F is done. Now I'll do the A. A, be very careful. When I first did my first one, everybody had nug. I had too much red and I ended up having to rebase them all. But yeah, but anyway, I do it interproximal. Just a little bit. I mean, that is it. Now, cusp eminence, I do down below, I mean on the back side, the front side. It gives it a 3D effect, and then I'll put the H in the middle. Yeah. So I build me a little wall there. Build me a little wall there. Okay, so we'll hit those barely. Okay, and then I'll come on around just a little bit. I mean, it is just nothing. So if everybody can see that, it's just a little bit. Now, got to do the canine again. And then the embrasure areas. Acrylic getting to you? Alright, now I've got to do my frenum areas. Now I do just the opposite. The frenums are usually a little red, but when you pull on them, they blanch, don't they? So it just looks nicer to have it that color. So I do red on either side. Of course, you ain't got to do it in this, you know, if you want to go in a different order, there's nothing special about it. Labial frenum. Just don't block your holes. You know, if you can get some in there, but don't block your vents. If you block your vents, then all of a sudden you've messed up.
It's interesting. They're like chill vents when you cast something. It's really all they really are.
Put just a little bit more red right here. There you go. Okay, and then my H. Of course, the H is anywhere where the bone's showing through a little bit. So that's my cortical plate. That's this little round area. I have a depression right there. I have a depression right there. I got a little bitty depression here and here. A little bitty depression there, and then I'll put H in all my frenums. So it's kind of like the labial frenum. Now this is the material that you can build up pretty good. Now if this was white, you couldn't do this. It'd be too much. It'd be too intense.
This is like a really light pink.
It's a light pink. That's all it is. Now let me see. Here's white. Which I probably should have done on a black surface so you could have seen that. But Cut. Do it over. Take two. So see, it's pretty fast. I mean, it's not nothing. It's not very time consuming. It's good. Now I get to do my little spots in here. So here, one there, there. And here's where I don't get shy. This is the one that you can do more colors. And then the canine, of course, you got the big eminence. I'm going to have to make sure I leave that vent open, so I might have to open that up some. Otherwise, I just close that vent up. More juice. So I can put a little bit in there, but I got to make sure I can still leave a little crease there just to get some air out. It's pretty good. That'll work. So I didn't place that real well. Should have come out forward a little bit. And then see, like this one. This one here, the vent's not quite in the way. So when you're applying your vents and you're going to do this, you got to think about that. Okay, now we do these. The interiors are a little bit harder to do because they're so little. That's it. I let that set 15 minutes, and then I'll come back and put a little bit more monomer back on there, close it up, and go with it. And I also clean my teeth off at this stage too. So I really don't want this granular. This stuff is very granular looking. See, it kind of looks like salt. So I don't want that staying on my teeth because that will interfere with my bond. So I don't want that to happen. So I will clean it off with the teeth. Something fell right there. I don't know if it's dry powder on my fingers or what. It's right there. Whatever it was, it got wet already. Oh, there it is. That's what I saw. Hey. That's it. I pretty well got it all off. Now it'll get a little crusty, and I'll just barely do it, and then we're done. So we'll wait 10 or 15 minutes, put some monomer on it, and close it up and shoot her.